Welcome to Star Wars for Breakfast here on Pulp Mythos. Today we'll be discussing The Mandalorian Chapter 7, titled The Reckoning. Today's format's going to be a little different, as you notice. This is audio only, not video. Spencer is not with me today. It's just me here, Brian. Basically, it's the holidays. Our schedules just could not sync up, so this is the only way I could get this review up. So he will be back next week, and we'll be discussing the finale, Episode 8, and we'll probably do something on the Rise of Skywalker. Both of us have seen it, and I think both of us will be seeing it at some point during this coming week. So we'll probably do a video on that. If you want to hear my opinion almost immediately coming out of the theater, you can go over to lrmonline.com. There was the Last Call podcast posted on December 20th, and it has myself and several other guys discussing the film. We talked for almost 4 hours. It's broken into two parts. It's very in-depth, a wide range of opinions, very good stuff. So yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on that, it's full spoilers, so that's a warning for that. So today I'm going to be discussing The Reckoning. This is the 7th episode of The Mandalorian, directed by Deborah Chow. This is her second episode she's directed, and I have to say she is my favorite of all the directors for this series. She'll be doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I'm very excited about that now. I would even go as far as to say, if I was looking at the future of the films, perhaps her name should be floated to Bob Iger. I think she definitely has that vision for what Star Wars should be. So that's my thoughts on that. So this episode, basically the Mandalorian was trying to come up with a plan to kill the Imperial that was sending all the bounty hunters to try and steal Baby Yoda. And so he decided he needed a team to accomplish this. So he goes and gets Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, and we find her. She's in a bar fighting a guy, showing off her MMA skills. Gina Carano is a great MMA fighter, definitely a pioneer in women's mixed martial arts. So we get to see some of that in that scene. She ends up joining the Mandalorian, and they go to the planet with the Nick Nolte guy, as I call him, the I Have Spoken guy. And basically, we discover he has rebuilt and trained IG-88 to be, not IG-88, excuse me, IG-11 to be more passive and just not a killer anymore. Now, the Mandalorian doesn't trust him, but he ends up accepting that he's going to come along with them on their journey to meet up with the head of the Bounty Hunters Guild. So while on the ship heading to the planet, which I don't know what the planet was called, the other desert planet, the 50,000 desert planets that are in the Star Wars universe, we have an interesting scene where the Mando and Dune are arm wrestling, and Baby Yoda appears to think the Mando is in danger, so he starts force choking Cara Dune, which is very interesting. We know he's powerful. We've seen him do really cool things, but here's something that's a little more. Some people online are saying it's a dark force type thing, and it sort of is. But at the end of the day, he was defending essentially his father at this point, his guardian. So it was an interesting scene, and then it played opposite to what happens later, where he shows off his healing ability. So later, they get to the planet and they meet up with Grief Karga, the guy that's in charge of the Bounty Hunters Guild, and they start their journey to the Imperial. And on this journey, one of my favorite scenes so far in the show, they're attacked by, it's nighttime, they have a little fire going, they're cooking some meat, and these giant pterodactyl creatures swoop in and attack the camp, killing one of the bounty hunters. It's a crazy sequence. The whole sequence is crazy. Shooting in the air. Gina Carano's got her, laser machine gun going. It's a really cool sequence. And it ends with Grief Karga being severely hurt and Baby Yoda having to heal him using his power. So we see Baby Yoda using his powers to harm and now to help. So then we find out that the bounty hunters, this was a trap, and Grief Karga basically turns on the other bounty hunters, kills them, and says, look, after Baby Yoda healed me, I'm with you guys now. So they come up with a plan to go to the base, meet up with the head of the head Imperial, and kill him, basically. And everything goes horribly wrong. They get to the base, and they notice there's a lot more stormtroopers than they originally thought would be there. And then something really big happens. So a group of death troopers show up, kill all the stormtroopers that are with the Imperial guy, kill him too, it appears, and a Moff shows up on a TIE fighter. Really cool sequence, the way it lands. I've never seen a TIE fighter do that before. I'm sure that's going to be a toy. And a transport vehicle pulls up, and all these stormtroopers come off in their armor. It's a lot shinier, a lot nicer. These guys are very well organized. And they basically say, we want Baby Yoda. So while this is all going on, Nick Nolte is racing to get Baby Yoda back to the ship and take off. 2 stormtroopers on speeder bikes are chasing him. And then this leads to the big cliffhanger ending in which Baby Yoda is kidnapped, and it appears that Nick Nolte, or I Have Spoken guy, has been killed. Now, maybe he's alive. It looks like he's dead. I think he's dead. But we'll obviously find out next week. Now, my prediction for next week is that IG-11 is going to see him dead, is not going to be happy about this, and he's going to be the one to come help save the day. So you're essentially going to have a scenario where Mando, who hates droids, is now going to have to team up with a droid in order to save Baby Yoda and escape. And I think IG-11 will become part of his crew. This is just me speculating. I love the episode. I think it's possibly my favorite episode of the season. And as I said before, Deborah Chow directed this episode, and the episode 3, The Sin, the one that had all the Mandalorians attack at the end. Hopefully she does some stuff with season 2. Like I said, I know she's going to be doing the Obi-Wan show. But yeah, really, really strong episode, great visuals, cool action sequences, and a great cliffhanger to lead to the final episode of the season. I've not talked to Spencer really about the episode, so I really don't know what his opinion is. We'll probably talk about it briefly in the next video. But yeah, so that's basically it. As I said, if you want to hear my opinion, go over to lrmonline.com, where you can find it on the Last Call podcast, which was posted on December 20th. And subscribe to this channel, Pulp Mythos, where next week we'll be talking about the season finale of The Mandalorian, and probably do also a video on The Rise of Skywalker. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.